Hello, friends. It's good to see you. It is Thursday, and the Thursday after Milton here in Florida. I've seen a lot of my Florida friends check in. Trey, good to see you. Yeah, tornadoes in Port St. Lucie. Yeah, indeed. And yeah. And everywhere else. Florida friends, did you have... Oh, the sound is choppy. Are other people having choppy sound issues? Yes, no, maybe so. Can anyone else confirm? Jeannie says the sound isn't good. Can anyone else confirm or deny that? Let me know. I'll keep going in the meanwhile. Those who are in Florida, did y'all have the tornado warnings going off like every hour? At least better now. Okay, good. Good. That was pretty harrowing, and there were tornadoes all over Florida. So while the path of Milton was what it was, the tornadoes were literally I feel like everywhere all over Florida. So I know people who had their homes just literally demolished by tornadoes. So, Florida peeps, check in. I've heard from most people. I have not heard from Peggy Lou. Anyone heard from Peggy Lou? We would love to know. All right. It's Thursday. You know, y'all know the interesting thing that while we're down here in Florida dealing with these tornadoes, we're also moving. This is to Port St. Lucie. No, seriously. Not immediately to Port St. Lucie, like in December to Port St. Lucie. But right now, the office is already going to be in a whole different configuration. You can see me in Stewart, 2 different locations in Port St. Lucie and also West Palm. This is probably my last broadcast from the office in Palm City. When I broadcast live tomorrow, it will very likely be from the temporary studio that John has set up for me in our apartment in Palm City. So there's that. Ginny, you're good. Okay. Good. Trey, did you have a trig during that? I didn't. Because we had on one side of us, we've got in her condo, John's 89-year-old mom. And then in Port St. Lucie proper, just 20 minutes from us, we've got Alice and Damien and the twins. So I wanted to stay very alert. Not that I don't know what I would have been able to do, but there was something about, stay present, right? So there's that. Jeannie, why are you moving? Well, I am a couple of things. One is I want to be a little bit physically closer to the grandkids, even though they're pretty close now. A little closer isn't bad. And I want to set up a situation where we can have them. We have no situation where Allison and Damien can just drop the grandkids off. They have done so in the office, but we have to be on them every minute because we are not childproof. And our apartment, same. So if we can move everything in together, house and apartment and office, move everything in together into a larger space where we can have the babies and be closer to the babies, I can work from home a lot of the time and just go to the office to see people in person where I'm with the W executive group now so people can choose where they want to see me. And once we're moved, my friends can come see me in my home. So that's the plan. That's what we're doing. Okay. Trey, that's terrifying. Yes, it is terrifying. It absolutely was. Because what are you going to do? How do you stay safe in a tornado, really? What do you do? So yeah, there was that. So glad we're all okay. This week, we're talking about the Halloween season. Jenny, yeah, I think it will be a great setup for all, really. For me to welcome new clients in 4 different locations, for me to welcome clients into my home, for me to broadcast from home, work from home, and have the babies. They're not babies. They're going to hate it that I call them babies. And have Aubrey and Elliot in our home in a way that's easy and not stressful. There it is. Yeah, tornadoes were the worst of it. Yeah, absolutely. And man, my community, my apartment community is tore up. Like there's trees, like, like nothing other than the trees and leaves, but it is tore up. I was surprised how much so. So anyway, there's that. Let's talk about the newsletter. That's what we're here to do. So Tarot Topics newsletter comes into your inbox every Wednesday. There's a link in the description to read this week's newsletter and to subscribe to the newsletter. This week, the topic, tricks and treats. What I was talking about is the fact that the tradition of trick-or-treating comes from the idea that spirits return to earth on this one night, and we dress in costume to hide amongst them, and we put treats out to appease them so they might not play tricks on us. That's where it comes from. Chidi, thank you. They're definitely still babies. They probably have a good 6 months before, or to a year before they complain. Thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Thank you. And I figure I could call them tots for quite some time. They'd probably be tots for another 3 years, right? I suppose. Oh, Teresa, thank you for your kind words. So trick-or-treating is really to prevent haunting. But then I started thinking about, like, when we talk about to be haunted, what is it to be haunted? When we talk about the ghosts of our past, when you say someone, that person is really haunted, or that person is looking really haunted, or that person has a lot of ghosts. When we say that about someone, it's not because Casper is swirling around them. It's because they've got stuff in their past that they haven't processed. And so that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about our own ghosts, the stuff from the past that maybe we haven't processed, or that we've processed in a way that is inaccurate and doesn't help us. So that's what our questions are about today. We're going to go on over to CardCam, where you will see two things. You will see A, that I am working with what is my workhorse right now, Ciro Marchetti's Legacy of the Divine. That's A. And B, why did I put my phone here? So, as you can imagine, stuff at the Gaudet household is a little freaky right now. And with everything going on, tornadoes, hurricanes, moving, just all the things, right? Oh, and StaarCon, planning StaarCon, all the things. And John and I both, like at the same time in two different locations, put up the link for this at the same time. It was not a YouTube issue. It was an us issue. And so I took down the one that had fewer people on it. And it was just two people who got here first. It was Smile Soul 20 and Ben Libra Does Tarot. I reached out to both of them and said, sorry, problem on YouTube. Gave them the link to this broadcast, but I screenshot their questions and I put it right here to remind me. So that's what we're starting with, is questions from Smile Soul 20 and Ben Libra Does Tarot, and then I'll take them in the order in which I see them. And I am sorry for that kerfuffle. That was like John and I both doing the same job at the same time. Better than no one doing it, I suppose. Right? All right. Getting shuffled. The first question is from Smile Soul 20. Thanks for being a member for more than 3 years. I would like a reading about past ghosts. So what is haunting you? What are the things from the past that haunt you? This is interesting. Trey, I love your pink phone case. I am such a pink girl. I really am. And I was really grateful for the Barbie movie because it gave me full-on permission to just be pink, but I have always been a person who likes pink. which is like so not my usual, like that's not what I think about as my vibe, but your vibe is who you are, and I am a girl who likes pink, so there you go. Okay. Smile Soul 20. This is very interesting, and it's not your ghost, but it's an ancestral ghost, and it's your grandfather. I am really seeing this as the early death of your grandfather and how much that impacted your mother's generation and how much that impacted you. I do think that he does watch over you, but I do think that there's this ancestral ghost that has been passed down, which was just that tragic loss so early on. And I think it made everyone in that generation, your mother, your aunt, your uncles, it hurt all of them, and that hurt everyone in your generation. That's what I see. Oh, Ness, back home, even men wear a lot of pink. It's a beautiful color. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So now, Ben Libra Does Tarot, thanks for being a member for more than 2 years. Smile Soul 20, good, glad you're here. I know, that was weird, right? Like, it didn't really offer advice, but it was interesting the way it came up. Ben Libra Does Tarot, thanks for being a member for more than 2 years. Thanks for being a moderator. Thanks for using members-only emojis. Loved the newsletter this week, especially after our members-only live stream. Perfect, perfect. I'm doing good clearing out the tangibles as I'm preparing to move. Well, there you go. See, all the best people are, obviously. Hopefully soon, date pending. What ghost do I need to put energy into banishing, spiritually or from the subconscious? I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, Ben Libra Does Tarot. The ghost that you need to banish is the army of ghosts, or maybe it's one ghost with different voices at different times, that will occasionally come in, often at night, and make you feel like you are not enough. And make you feel like you can't do what you want to do and go where you want to go and have the life you want to have. So it's all of that. Those are the ghosts that need to go away. They've been with you, I think, forever. But it's time for them to go bye-bye. Evidentially, it is. All right. All right. Ness, you're so fun. I was just killing time looking at colors that look good on different complexions. I think pink would look good on you. Thank you. I do too. I should probably start wearing it more, and perhaps I shall. Perhaps I shall. All right. Trey. Here we go. I think you are, in fact. Okay. Well, first person I see is Caroline McLaughlin. Thanks for being a member for more than a year. Thanks for using members-only emojis. Thanks for your kind words about the newsletter. The first question I see is yours, Trey. Thanks for being a member for more than a year. And you've reframed your question here. What ghosts do I need to let go of to continue to move forward in the best way? Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. The ghost of meh. Seriously. Whatever it is, whether it's ancestral, whether it's born of things that have happened, or whether it's just sort of your tendency. that part of you that can be stubborn and curmudgeonly, is that fair? Is that fair? Well, I think it's helpful in a way, and I think it's helpful to your writing process because it is a character in a way. But, here it is, Trey. You, like a lot of creative people, I think I'm this way too. We have, interesting, Trey. That's interesting to know. A lot of addiction issues. That's interesting to know. But I'm actually going with something different here. Although, I mean, that's always the thing, right? But what I'm going with is I think you have this ability to have like very solid, different personas within you. I'm not talking about dissociative identity disorder, and I'm not talking about being two-faced or anything like that. I'm talking about you can be positive, you can be curmudgeonly, you can be productive, you can be a lot of different ways, depending on the time, depending on the mood. And I think some of those ways of being that are sort of natural to you for one reason or another serve you more than others. And I think identifying, Trey, I am stubborn, I can be. And sometimes stubbornness is good, right? But sometimes not. So I think identifying, right, you're complex but not a monster, exactly. See, I'm that way too, so I get it. So I think it's identifying which one of those sort of mood personas should step to the front and lead, and allowing that to lead. Right, we associate complex with problematic behavior, but what is less fun than a shallow person, right? Like a person who is not complex, bored with them in 5 minutes, man. Like I think all the best people are complex because we have layers. There's things to get to know, right? So, did that answer the question? Okay. Yeah, the positive one needs to lead more. I was having that conversation with John last night. I am right this minute going through a phase where I'm really into the cartoon Solar Opposites. Does anyone watch Solar Opposites? So I'm really into Solar Opposites. And it is another one of those 4-character shows. Frank Kwiatkowski, of course, at StaarCon, tells us that most sort of cultural things, shows, movies, whatever, bands, 4 characters, connected to the 4 elements. So we were thinking about which of the 4 characters were connected to which of the elements, but also who we identify with. And we've been joking that I am Corvo. Now, Corvo, at the beginning of every show, says, I hate Earth. People are stupid. And I do have that sometimes in my personality. And we've decided that I should be much less like Corvo and not hate Earth and think people are stupid. So yeah, that's my example. Like, I get it. All right. Here we go. Medihan Ness, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member for more than 2 years. Thanks for using members only emojis. And here comes Ness. But they are, right? But we are also people and we are also stupid. So what are we going to do with that? There it is. What are you going to do? I made Trey laugh. Okay, Ness, we're doing you now. I know what haunts me. I don't know how to get over it. How do I do that? There is something here about wishing something had happened differently, wishing something had been different. And the only thing I can say here is you need to know that you need to know that no matter what different you had done, the outcome would not have been better. That there's no different choice you could have made to make a better outcome. Different outcome maybe, worse outcome maybe, but not a better outcome. This was not in your control. Is that helpful? All right. Makes you air, good to see you. When you wrote about appeasing our ghosts, make sure you're up next. I just wanted to check in with Ben real quick. I just saw Ben's feedback. Thank you. Yes, indeed. Need to say that to the Army. Hoping my upcoming move will be the catalyst to break that cycle of negativity that I at times fall into. May it be so, yes. And I think moving is good that way. It does change the energy in a lot of ways, so that makes sense. Yeah. All right, make sure. When you wrote about appeasing our ghosts, I immediately thought about my maternal grandmother. She led an incredibly sad life and ended up alone in a home, abandoned by my grandfather S., who dumped her in a home, remarried and moved to Australia. She ended up dying of early onset Alzheimer's. I'm really working on healing that line and choosing differently than T and my mother so that I heal my ancestral line. I would love a message from T or Spirit, please, about this. I'm going to say the message is you are doing everything you need to do to make that happen. And, you know, those of us who have the most healing to do often have the things that pile on that make the healing harder. And I think that is the case with you right now, but you're doing it. And so that's the message. You're doing the work you need to be doing. You absolutely are. And you can understand, like on some spiritual level, why the early onset Alzheimer's? Because they probably had lives they really needed to forget. I mean, I know that's not how Alzheimer's works medically, but, you know, on some spiritual level, maybe. So yeah, make sure the message is you're doing all the right stuff here. Ness, yes, that's the conclusion I've come to, but even that's hard to accept. I will leave chocolate treats for my ghost. Yeah, what else can you do, man? There it is. Hey, Martha, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Febborn, thanks for coming in. Joe 1, no worries. Glad you're here. And let's keep going. Who's next? It's Melissa Grosso. So good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member for more than 2 years. Yes, post-hurricane. A little weirded out by the tornadoes and how they just came and tore up a bunch of people, but we were fine. You know, very sort of random smiting going on. We were fine. Thank you. Thanks for using members-only emojis, too. What ghost from my past is most important for me to put to rest? The ghost that says you're not allowed to have a fun and happy and creative and exciting life. The ghost that says you're not allowed to be angry when you're angry. The ghost that says that you're not allowed to be in your power and you have to make yourself small. Those ones. Just saying. Okay. Barbie Bird, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member for more than a year, and thanks for using members-only emojis. Thanks for your kind words about the newsletter. I never really asked about this too much before, but I have my own living ghost. The last person I was in a serious relationship with. Barbie, are you here? Here? You usually let me know when you are, so I think maybe you're not. And And I'm just curious. Well, no, you'll tell me if I need to know. Okay, I'm gonna stop with my gossipy curiosity and just do the reading. All right. Here it is. I have my own living ghost. The last person I was in a serious relationship with. What the fuck was his problem? Why did he ghost me, literally a ghost, and never speak or see me again? You just answered my question. Okay. I still struggle with feeling disposable to people who loved me or love me outside of my parents. Why did this happen, and did he ever love me? I really feel like I've grown since then. Do the cards agree? Wow, that is hard. So you were in a serious relationship and he just freaking ghosted you? Oh my gosh, that is cray. That is so cray. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Honestly, Barbie, I'm going to tell you something, and please feel free to message me on social media, shoot me an email, whatever after this one, because I'm about to be kind of harsh. And you're not here, so you're going to be watching in replay. So feel free to reach out to me so we can talk through this if we need to, okay? The two of you were having two different relationships. He was never as in as you were. Never, ever, ever. From the very beginning, he maintained an energetic autonomy. Now, how was he behaving during that time? During that time, I think he breadcrumbed you. I think when the relationship was at its best, what it was a lot of breadcrumbs. And some nice moments, but even when it was like, okay, so here's the problem I'm having, Barbie. This was a serious relationship, but I feel like even at its best, it was not functioning as a good relationship should. I'm curious to know if you were aware of that in the time, if you perceive it that way now, because the whole question, my takeaway for you, and I am going to answer your question, I promise, but my takeaway is, like, we feel so bad when this happens, like it's so blindsiding. But I feel like you had to put up with a certain amount of emotional distance from him, even when it was at its best. And I'm just wondering if you perceived that. I'm curious about that. Okay, so why did he ghost you? Because he really likes people to see him as the good guy. He likes to be a good guy, and he's very performative. I think he was very performative in the relationship. And he did not know how to break up with you and still be the good guy. There was really no way he could. And he did not want the difficult conversation. And he is, like, in the dictionary, if you look up selfish man, his picture is there. In retrospect, do you see that? And did you see that then? This dude is so freaking selfish. And so he did the thing that was easiest for him. Why did it happen at that moment? I think he had some other opportunity. I don't know if it was a love opportunity or just a work opportunity, something he wanted to do, and he didn't want anything to get in the way, so he just took off. Did he ever love you? He enjoyed you. He enjoyed being in relationship with you. Those same three cards again. I think that that's the best he does. Like, I think he loved you to the best of his ability, but his ability is limited. Limited. And have you really grown since then? First of all, grown in healing from this asshole? Yes and no. There's still, well, I mean, you are still in that process of healing from this, because this is freaking hurtful. Did he intend to hurt you like this? No, absolutely not. He did not mean to hurt you. He was just not thoughtful enough to recognize that this was the worst way he could have done it. And have you grown in your ability to recognize when someone's treating you badly? I think so. I think you have. I think if you were to be in this similar situation now, you probably would have left him before he left you. So yeah, I think you have grown a great deal. Let me know your thoughts. Okay. Where are we? Okay. Moving on. Smile Soul 20, good to see you. I got you in the very beginning. Justine, so good to see you. Thanks for being a moderator. We appreciate you. Everything I've been going through for the past 14 months or so is viewed as a bad, shadowy chapter. I hope I can bring to a close and move on from my life. Am I getting closer to be able to close this chapter and put it all behind me? I think so, yes. Yes. Also, I am wondering, what role have my ancestors played in guiding me through this dark period of time? A lot, especially your dad, a lot. Or even what role has my ancestry played in this work I've been doing? A lot in the beginning, less toward the end. I can only help it's helping them in some way. I think so. I wouldn't be surprised if I hadn't been the only one to carry a burden that felt larger than life. Very, very true. And so with this, Justine, you are doing the work you need to do. So move forward, and your ancestors are with you, especially your dad. Heather Roberts, so good to see you. Thanks for being a member. We appreciate you. The idea of paying homage to what has hurt us really stopped me in my tracks yesterday. You have a way of writing energies and thoughts and bringing them to the surface so the light can help us see. That was really important to me, so I wanted to convey it to you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I would like to hear what guidance my ancestors may have for me this morning. Most certainly, yes. Two cards that are almost opposites, but they work really together for a message, really well together for a message. Here's the message. You're allowed to choose what you want to do, what you don't want to do for the very most part. You are allowed to choose where you want to put your energy. And when you put your energy where you want to put your energy, you are allowed to nurture that and let it grow into what you want. You are fully allowed to be self-determining and to nurture and cultivate joy, wisdom, and creativity in your life. And this should not sound like a radical message, but for you, Heather, from your ancestry, it feels like one, because a lot of your ancestors did not have that permission, and I feel like you have not always had that permission. All right. Okay. Okay. I'm just scrolling through and looking at, oh my gosh, Joyous Ocean, good to see you at another funeral. I'm so sorry. Thanks for being a member. Thanks for using members only emojis. Try to think of a question. Good, good. Vaishali, you're up next. Hang on a minute. I just overscrolled. There you go. Okay, cards for the topic. Don't know what to ask. We're going to talk about your ghosts of the past, which rule your freaking life. Whether it's what you were told, whether it's what you tell yourself, In a lot of ways, Vaishali, you are ruled by voices that tell you that you're not good enough, or you should or shouldn't be doing this, or you can't do that, or who do you think you are to be trying to do this, or any of those kinds of things. And this is what you're working on healing. So keep going. Virginia W., so good to see you. Thanks for being a member. So many ghosts from the past. Which ones are around at this time, and how can I best approach them? I think right now, and I'm speaking of the metaphoric ghosts here, which was really like the whole sort of concept of the newsletter, although I'm happy to speak about actual ghosts as well, and ancestors and all of that. But metaphoric ghosts for you, here's the one for today and for this time in your life, Ginny. Your value is the work that you do. If you do good work, you have value. If you do not do good work, you do not have value. That is a ghost that I would like to see you take a huge stake right to its heart. Yeah. And welcome in. We're not going to call these ghosts. Welcome in the sprites and fairies of having fun and being creative. There you go. Oh, Heather, I hear that. Yesterday I was thinking about the diluting of energy due to so many interests, and it occurred to me, I need to begin focusing harder on what truly brings me joy. You're right. Yeah, there you go. Okay. And Ginny, is there any potential for ancestral healing at this time? That kind of is the ancestral healing because it was your ancestors' view that gave you that. So that would be the ancestral healing. Dance, and your ancestors will dance with you. Oh, Liz Harrison, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member for more than a year. Thank you for your kind words. Pip, your question is up next. Thanks for being a member for more than a year. And thanks for using members only emojis. You're looking for a way to better connect to spirit guides and ancestors. We can certainly do that. Yeah, just talk to them and listen. Talk and listen. I think sometimes we who are sort of in this world will get very ritualistic about it, which can be very powerful and very appropriate. But it's also true that sometimes we just need to talk and listen. And so it will. Oh, Heather, in the past, I didn't feel like I had permission to do what I liked, so I embraced all my interest as an adult. Now I want to take the time and energy to delve deeper into more specialized areas. There you go. There you go. Oh, this is a good one, Jeannie. Jeannie, thanks for being a member for more than 3 years. What negative ancestral ghosts are still in play with me and or Colleen, your daughter? How are the ancestors helping us? I think they are all right now working to help you learn to each feel confident in your ability to be the unique souls that you are. I think your ancestors are clearly supporting that. I think some of the generational wounding has been the opposite of that you're unique and that's bad. And I think what the ancestors are trying to help you do is you're unique and that's good. That's what I think. Let me know what you think. Okay, Liz would love any cards on this topic from me right now. So, looking at the metaphoric ghosts, if you will. Liz, you're up next. I just have to. Ginny, thank you for all those members only emojis. Agreed. There it is. Thank you for that reading. I could never have seen this on my own. I'm just not programmed that way. Having fun was never on the agenda. And oh my gosh, man. Wow. Yeah. Well, there it is. And now, like, you've come to the place where if you don't get wiped out by a tornado or a hurricane, you can have a lot of fun. So, let's get going. Let's have some fun. All right. Okay, Liz. So Liz, we're going to talk about your metaphoric ghosts, which are all about, like, you were raised with the idea that you have to please people, and that if you please these people, you are also pleasing God, and that, like, these people, which would be your family, your church, all of that, and God became synonymous. They're all one. It's a monolith. So to be good and please, or to be bad and displease. And you've unpacked a lot of that, but it is still somewhere in you where there is a part of you that still feels like you have to make excuses for yourself, and that other people are thinking that you are bad and backslidden and they will not see you on the other side, or, you know, whatever. And so I think you're still sort of working on releasing all of that. Okay, Joe 1. Thank you for being a member. We really appreciate you. Regarding your metaphoric ghosts, the metaphoric ghosts that you carry with you, I think for you, there is this worry that you will not have what you need, whether it's money or support or whatever. You will not have what you need. And I think you fix that by recognizing that you will always be able to have, generate, or find what you need. Will you always have what you want? Of course not. No one does. But you will have what you need. Ah, Liz, thank you. Working on. True. Yep. Trey, I'm looking forward to that question as well. We'll have some fun with it for sure. It's a good question. Okay. Yeah, Jeannie, working on enjoying being unique, but wish it didn't go along with feeling isolated. And maybe it doesn't have to. Maybe that's part of the healing that needs to happen, is maybe it doesn't have to. Okay, next question I see is Febborn. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. I think I'm moving forward slowly. However, how can I tap into the present and the future? Good question. You know, to be more present in the present, write about what you're experiencing, observe and write. To be more available for the future, visualize and work to create the future. Like that. But let it be your spiritual and creative self that moves you forward. Oh my gosh, this is funny. Nick and Virginia voted most unique in high school. That's funny. Okay. Martha Vink, so good to see you. I'm going to shoot you a message right after I get off here. Nick, are you Starseed? Is that what you mean when you say you identify as an alien? Interesting. Martha Vink, thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. One of the things that haunts me is a fear that I haven't been a good pet mom. I especially think I could have protected Risa, my beloved dog, better. Does she forgive me? How can I release this? Well, first of all, is that true? Could you have protected her better? I don't know, man. You loved that dog to the moon and back. You did the best you could in every single way. What more could you have done? I think you're just torturing yourself. She doesn't forgive you because there's no need to forgive you. There's no need to forgive you. There's no need for forgiveness. This is you fighting a battle with yourself, because if you could clone yourself, you would make one of you and spend time with your pets all day, all night, all the time. And that's obviously not yet possible, so we can't do that. So yeah, I think you gotta let that go. Nick, look into starseed. It's one word, starseed. Google it, look into it, it might apply. So Martha, yeah, this is tough, but you gotta cut yourself some slack here. You are a fabulous pet mom. And speaking of mom, Medium That Rocks, thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member for more than a year. I am haunted by the loss of my children. What do I most need to know about working through this pain? I'm not sure you have lost them. First of all, number one, they're alive, they're well, they know where you are, they know how to find you. I don't think you've lost them. I think that if you just move forward, like the reason this has happened is you sort of allowed yourself to be in a situation that wasn't really aligned with the truth, and you just sort of tried to let it be, which could have worked until it didn't. And so, And so I feel like they're confused because you taught them to believe one thing, and now there's a whole other thing that is true. So they're confused. But if you live your truth fully, you are now fully in your truth, no holds barred. If you live your truth fully, they will see that. They will see that. And I feel like as they see that, they will find comfort and healing for themselves through you. And now I'm going back to, no, you have not lost your children. You just need to be patient and move into the strength of your energy, and that energy will be strong for them as well. That's what I think. Okay. Okay. So, Martha, I think you're as good as you can possibly be. You know, you can't be there. You can't be there all the time. Nick, we don't do politics here. I don't disagree with your idea, but we don't do politics here. Martha, I think you should change the belief in the past. The belief in the past. Okay, next, like your belief excuse me, I mean, of course we believe in the past. That past belief needs to be changed. No, I got it, Nick, you're good. Okay, who's next? So, Tara and Sky, you're next. I'm looking for it, but I'm not seeing it. So if I could just speak, oh, Joe won. Okay, that made sense. Good, good. So Tara and Sky, I'm not seeing your question, but I'm going to go ahead and answer it because I'm not seeing the rewrite. So here's the thing, like you identify as Christian and then you talk about a priest. So if you have a priest and you're Christian, you're probably some kind of Catholic or Orthodox or Episcopalian, I would think. But when you say Christianity does not allow divination, that's wrong. You're patently and completely wrong. Christianity is a very wide umbrella. You're Orthodox, okay. So yes, as an Orthodox Christian, you may feel like you have to choose. Like there's two things going on there, right? One is to say, as an Orthodox Christian, this practice is not appropriate for me. Or you can do what many, many church members do and say, I am a Christian. I have my own relationship with God. I honor the church and go to church because it's part of my tradition, but I do not have to listen to all of that. The other thing you could do is join a different church. Now, the idea that tarot reading is a gift, I have a really hard time. Like, I hate that phrasing. And I hate the idea of psychic gifts, I hate that phrasing because it separates what we do from all the other things in the world. Like, we might talk about a gifted musician, but normally we use the word talented. We might talk about a gifted mathematician, but normally we would say smart and accomplished. And so and this is just me personally, I don't love this tendency to use the word gift to talk about psychic stuff, tarot stuff, all of that, because it's just another talent. It's not a big deal. So that's what I have to say about all that. Doing the reading, here it is. And okay, Tara and Sky, Martha Vink is my very good friend and is a Christian pastor right here with us, a member of our community. I'm so proud. Am I so proud? Yes. My father was also a Methodist minister, by the way. God, spirit, universe can speak in many different ways, including tarot, in my opinion, as a Christian pastor. Thank you, Martha. Love you. So, yeah. And so I think, those are all the things I would say about that broadly. Now, to read for you about this, I think a lot of this is a larger question for you, Tara, around figuring out who you are and what matters to you. Figuring out what is true for you and how much you care about the orthodoxy and how much you find your spiritual connection there versus in another way. And Ginny says, overcoming childhood prohibitions against other gods or devils was a long path and a deep dive for me, right? And I was lucky, I didn't have that. I grew up my mother took me to Sunday school from the time I was little. She married the Methodist minister when I was 10. So I definitely grew up in church and never was discouraged from doing this. So there's all of that. That's what I would say about all of that. Let me know what you think. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Let's see where we are here. Baby Cakes, I'm seeing you, and I think we're at last call. So get your questions in because it is last call for readings, y'all. If I skipped anyone, I'm so sorry. Nick, I skipped you. Nick, did I skip you? Are you here? Did I skip you? Oh, Teresa, I see a bunch of stuff I missed. Hang on. Going back. The topic is the metaphoric ghosts, our ancestors, what haunts you. So it can be about ancestors and literal ghosts, but it can also be about the metaphoric ghosts of what haunts you. Oh, Tara and Sky, good. Thank you. That is perfect. I was hoping that would be helpful for you. Yay. Yay, 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 yay. Okay, Nick, you think about it, and if you don't think of anything, I'll just pull some cards. I missed Teresa and maybe some other people. So, Teresa, I'm coming back for you. And I think... Oh, and I see Reiki with Katie. I haven't seen your question yet, so get your question in. Oh, Caroline McLaughlin, seeing your question. Very good, very good. So I am now going to do Teresa. Teresa, thanks for being a member for more than 2 years. Thanks for being a moderator. I feel haunted by the feeling that I could have done more to save my sister. Is that a reason why I don't feel her spirit around? And if so, how can I let that go? Could you could you have done more to save your sister? No, you could not have. So I think, and so like I'm saying to you, Teresa, a similar thing that I'm saying to Martha, which is that we have to start with that first assumption. I could have done more too. I should have been better. I mean, we always wish we could have been better, but in reality, you know, I think we show up the best we can every day. So I think you've got to get rid of that assumption. There is nothing more you could have done, Teresa. And also Martha. Why don't you feel her spirit around you? Because she's doing her healing. She's doing her healing. And so she doesn't have the energy to be flitting around coming to see you for tea. She's doing the healing that she so desperately needs. So leave her to it, and you'll have connection with her when she feels better. That's what I think. Right. So Nick, oh, and I now realize which question you were talking about when you said the thing about the thing we don't mention. That was definitely not the case in that case. Could be in many others, though, for sure, for sure. But anyway, Nick, you are doing the pet guilt. Can I talk? You are doing the pet guilt thing about Rufus. And so now, whether it's human guilt or pet guilt, I got to put you now in the same category as Teresa and Martha. I've been feeling so much guilt about not saving Rufus. And what I'm going to say to you doesn't even have to be with the cards. It's totally logical. I know with my full heart that if you could have, you would have. And so you didn't because you couldn't. So why feel guilty? And here I'm going to bring back a newsletter topic from a little while ago, which is the difference between guilt and regret. Regret is legit here. Guilt is not. You regret you couldn't have done more. So, what do you need to know, Nick? I've got a couple of things here, but I think we're going to say like the ghost of Rufus, that you're still in that space. I regret not bringing him to the ER sooner. I understand. I'm not sure it would have made a difference. You know, I think it was what it was. And Nick, you told us that Rufus was your familiar. Rufus will still work with you from spirit, number one. But number two, that's the thing about pets and familiars is their lifespan is shorter than ours. And so the spiritual task of healing is part of your magic and part of your spiritual growth. Rufus helped you with your magic throughout your life together. Now Rufus will help you with your magic because this healing is your next magical feat. You must grow big enough to grow around the hurt, because that's how we heal. You're welcome. Okay. Now, Reiki with Katie, anything? Baby cakes, I see you. Oh, and I see Caroline too. I'm going to do okay. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do Caroline, then I'm going to do baby cakes. Caroline McLaughlin, thanks for being a member for more than a year. Thanks for using members only emojis. Do I see anything that haunts you at this moment? Not necessarily, Caroline. Is it possible, correct me if I'm wrong, but is it possible that you have done a fabulous job finding your balance, finding your grounding, finding your connection so that you are primarily unhaunted? Is that possible? There it is. Okay. Baby cakes. We were talking about my aunt with my father. There was a very sad story attached to her. Is she with us in spirit, and is she happy now? She is not with you in spirit. And she is happy. She is, because of how her life was, she didn't want any spiritual duties. She's not doing spiritual duties. She's doing what she wants to do in this life, which involves her healing, involves her taking care of her, involves her not having to deal with other people's BS. So is she happy? Yes. All right. Let me just check here. All right, it is officially last call for readings, y'all. Reiki with Katie, haven't seen anything from you, yes. Caroline, yes, I do think this is possible. Wow. Well done. Well done. I've tried hard to do some ancestral healing. It seems to have worked. All right. Oh, baby cakes, no. No, I don't think she's alive. No, I do not believe she's alive. That was totally a mediumship reading. That's why I said no spiritual duties. Right. All right. Oh, I see one I missed. And it is last call for readings, y'all. The crownless shall again be king. What ghosts might I still be holding on to? Here we go. The idea that you can't or aren't able or shouldn't do the things you really want to do. There's something that limits you. It limits you from going where you want to go and doing what you want to do. You could stop that. You could end that limitation. All right, my friends, I want to thank you all so much. If things go the way we're planning it, I may look different tomorrow. We'll see what happens. I want to thank you all so much for being here. Really appreciate you. If you haven't read the newsletter yet, please do. Please subscribe to the newsletter. There are links. Learn about StaarCon and get your StaarCon ticket. Book a reading with me. Do those things. My friends, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Lily, I did miss you. Yes, I did. Thank you for catching that. Let me get back. Not going to the hairdresser, although I certainly need to. What did I say that made you think that? That's so funny. I don't know. But I need to go, so that's good. Okay, Lily, let me go find you. I am so sorry I missed you, and I'm so glad you're in Florida now. Did I miss anyone else? LP, I see you here. I don't think I read for you. Did you ask a question? Lily, looking for you. I found you, Lily. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Oh! I said I would look different. Yes. But it's a technological difference, not a me difference. because my studio, if we get it all together by then, I'll be broadcasting for the first time from my temporary studio in our apartment. That's why I'll look different. That was funny. That was good. I like it. Okay. Lily, thanks for your patience. Sorry I missed you. What ghost issues do I need to face and deal with? And thanks so much for being a member for more than a year. Thanks for using members-only emojis. Right. It makes sense. I said I would look different. It makes sense, right? That could be new hair, new glasses, lots of different things. But no, new tech. New tech. That was funny. It made perfect sense, baby cakes, perfect sense. Okay. So, Lily, thanks for your patience. What ghost issues do I need to face and deal with? All of them. There's a lot here from different aspects of your life, primarily having to do with people using guilt to manipulate you and making you feel like you owe them things that you do not. You could work on that. Yeah. Feeling comfortable saying no will help you to have really good relationships. That's what I think. All right. Anyone else? Did I skip anyone else? Skipping people in these lives is like typos in a publication. Like, it's sort of unavoidable, but I hate it. All right, my friends, I want to thank you all so much. Take really good care, and I will see you tomorrow looking some kind of way. Have a great day.